Now you got to the point where you have been in business for a while. Maybe you're even one of those who has been charging the exact same rate for 20 years. And suddenly you become aware that you didn't even adjust for inflation. Everything around you, prices were going up. The gas in your car is more expensive. Your rent is more expensive. You're still getting the same amount per session, even though you upgraded your skills, you got all this extra education. Eventually you caught on and you're thinking like, okay, I need to raise this. At least I need to look at what were the inflation rates in those years, and you have to adjust it by that percentage. So how do you do this? Usually you're really scared because you worry about your most loyal clients. You worry about how are they going to afford it. And there is this idea, I don't know where it comes from, but when I talk to other therapists about raising their rates, they always think they have to do it next week. It's like they make the decision today, and next week it's all going to be more expensive. That's not what I'm saying at all. Plan it for next year. For all I care, plan it for 2 years from now. Then you just set your goal that you say, okay, 3 years from now, all my clients are going to pay $110 for a 60-minute session. Make that your goal. And then you work backwards from that idea. So that means 2 years from now, maybe you want that all the new clients are paying $110 per session. So now you already know where that is. So then what does that mean for this year? Well, this year you only start preparing. This year you really look at your client lists. Check your books. Look at who you were treating a year ago. That will also make you aware of who you should be following up with, who you should be asking, like, hey, I wonder how you're doing. Well, a really great way to do this is to just contact people and say, I just want to let you know that by the end of this year, I will be raising my rates. It's going to be $95 for an hour, but you are one of the people who I really feel like needs the work. And I know that it would be hard for you to just jump up to this higher rate immediately. So I want to give you an extra 6 months on the old rate. The best way that you could work with that is if you buy a package of sessions, because that package will never expire. And even if 20 years from now I'm charging $200 for an hour, you will still be able to use those appointments you purchased today. So if you tell your old clients that, they're not going to feel like, ooh, she's raising the rates on me. They feel like, oh, I'm one of the special people who she really likes. So instead of annoying your clients, you're actually rewarding them and you're motivating them to buy a whole package. So that's some extra money in your pocket that you have now that you don't have to worry about. So this is a really nice way of raising your rates, but making it a slow process. The realistic thing is probably not that you're going to think 3 years ahead. The realistic thing is probably that you're planning it for 6 months from now, or you're planning it for after you have gotten a specific certification that you've been working towards. And then you can say, once I have the certification, all the new clients are going to pay this other rate. And then you can keep your old clients for another year on the old rates maybe, but always set a limit, tell them exactly it is going to be until that date. And before that date, make sure you have it on a list, contact them, and remind them of buying a package because that's the best way that they can keep the old rates for longer.